Hello guys, you're welcome to the YouTube channel once again, and today we are taking a look at the 1992 objective test. So let's get right into this. Bece 1992 objective test. We are done with 1990, 1991, and then we are now on 1992. We are solving 1 to 20 right now. So this is what we have for question 1. Question 1 says we should find the set of prime factors of 12. So let's see how best we can solve this particular question. Find the set of prime factors of 12. All right, so all the numbers that can divide 12 are factors of 12. So we have to list the factors of 12. After we have listed the factors of 12, then we select the prime factors of 12. So let's see. To write down the factors of 12, you know, when you are writing down the factors of a particular number, 1 and the number itself become a factor of that particular number. So in actual sense, 1 and 12. So now we are finding prime factors of 12. That's what we are finding. So to find the factors of 12, we take 1, multiply it by 12, it will give us 12. We take 2, multiplied by what will give us 12? That is 6. So 2, 6, that will give us a product of 12. Then we move on to 3. 3 multiplied by 4 will give us a product of 12. Do we have 4? 4 multiplied by 3 will give us a product of 12. But we have 3 multiplied by 4. So we still maintain this particular one. And then let 4 multiplied by 3 go. So I think this will be all. And then 6 multiplied by 2 also give us a product of 12. But I think this is all we need to find the factors of 12. So the factors of 12 become 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 12. So factors of 12, we have them to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. That is what we have. So out of these factors of 12, which of these factors are prime numbers? 1 is not a prime number, 2 is a prime number, 3 is a prime number, 4 is not a prime number, 6 is not a prime number, 12 is not a prime number. So in actual sense, the prime factors of 12 now become, the question says it's a set of prime factors of 12. So we bring the curly bracket, then we have 2 and then 3. So the set of prime factors of 12 are 2 and 3. So question 1 has been solved. Let's box on, take a look at question 2 right now. So with question 2, this is what we have. If set P is equal to 7, 11, and 13, and we have set Q, which is also equal to 9, 11, and 13, the question says we should find P union Q. So let's write down the members of set P and set Q. Set P has the members, and then set Q also has the members. And the question says we are supposed to find P union Q. All right, so to find P union Q, when you are told to find the union of two different sets, you write out all the members that are found in both sets, beginning from the least to the largest value. So when we are writing out the members of P union Q, we begin with the least value in set P and set Q. So we compare, and then we search for the least value. So 7 becomes the least value, that comes first. So we have 11, 11, 9. 9 follows. And then we have 11. But remember, we have 11 here and 11 there. But the only thing we do when we are writing out the union of two sets is that when the number appears or a member appears here and there, you write it as only one. Okay? You write it once. That's what we do. You write it once. So over here too with 13, we write it only once. And this becomes the union of set P and set Q. Therefore, P union Q gives us 7, 9, 11, and 13. That's what we have right now. So question 2 has been solved. Let's box on, take a look at question 3. So with question 3, a diagram is displayed, and in the diagram, set Q has 30 members and set T has 25 members. Q intersection T has 10 members. Question 3 says we should find the number of members of Q union T. We are finding Q union T. So let's get the question 3. Let's get question 3 solved. So in the diagram, Q union T gives us 10, and then from the question, the number of members that we have in set Q are 30. So we have the number of members in Q, we have to be equal to 30. The number of members that we have in set T, 25. And then the number of members in Q intersection T gives us 10. That's what we have right now. Now, we are told to find Q union T. So to find the number of members in Q union T, this is the formula that we use. We take the number of members in set Q, all right, plus the number of members in set T. Then we subtract the number of members in set Q intersection T from the sum. That is what we do. So to find the number of elements in Q union T, the number of elements or the number of members in set Q, we have it to be 30. So let's substitute their values into the formula. Number of elements in Q, we have 30, plus number of elements in T, we have it to be 25. Then minus number of elements in Q intersection T, we have that one to be 10. So to find the number of elements in Q union T, 30 plus 25 gives us 55. Then minus 10. 55 minus 10 gives us 45. So the number of elements in Q union T gives us 45. And we are done solving question 3. Let's box on, take a look at question 4. Alright, so with question 4, this is what we have. Find the value of square root of 6 whole number 1 out of 4. The square root of 6 whole number 1 out of 4. This is what we have. So to solve this, let's take the first step. Let's change, this is a mixed fraction, so let's change it to an improper fraction. So to change this to an improper fraction, 6 multiplies 4. Then we have 24. 24, which is the product, plus 1. 24 plus 1 gives us 25. So square root of 25 out of the denominator, which is 4. Moving forward, this means that we've got to find the square root of 25 and find the square root of 4. So we have square root of 25 out of square root of 4. Square root of 25 means search for a number that can multiply itself to give you a product of 25. So the number that can multiply itself and then give you a product of 25 will be the answer. So the number that can multiply itself to give us a product of 25 is 5. 5 multiplied by 5 gives us 25. Therefore, square root of 25 gives us 5. And then over here too, we have square root of 4. It means search for the number that will multiply itself to give you a product of 4. That is what the square root of this 4 means. So the number that will multiply itself to give us a product of 4 will be 2. 2 multiplies 2, then you have 4. Therefore, square root of 4 gives us 2. So we have 5 out of 2. But with the possible answers that we have over here, or the options that we were given, the answer is not there. We don't have 5 out of 2. So let's divide 5 out of 2 and let's see the final answer that we are going to get. So we take 2. 2 we divide 5 and we have 2. 2 we divide 5 2 whole times. There will be a remainder of 1 out of the denominator 2. So it will become 2 whole number 1 out of 2. So it is either 2 whole number 1 out of 2, which is 2.5 in common fraction terms, or 2.5 could also mean 2.5 in decimals. So it is either 2.5 in a common fraction form or 2.5 in a decimal fraction form. So over here I have 2.5 in there. So the answer is this. And we are done solving question 4. Let's box on, take a look at question 5. So with question 5, this is what we have. The question says, convert 39, which is in base 10, to a base 5 numeral. So we are converting 39 base 10 to base 5. That's what we are doing. So base 5 numeral. With this, we need to divide this 39, which is in base 10, by 5. That is the base to which we are converting this 39 in base 10 to. So we are converting 39 to base 5. So we need to draw a table, write down the base to which we are converting the number to, the base to which we are converting the number, and the number itself, followed by the remainder that we will obtain after the division. So let's draw these lines over here. All right, fair enough. So B for base, N for the number, and R for the remainder. So let's write down the number, which is 39, under where we have the number column. And then the base to which we are converting 39 to is 5. So the base comes here, 5. Let's do the simple division. How many times will 5 divide 39? And that will give us 7. 5 multiplies 7, then we have 35, all right, which is closer to 39. So 5 divides 39, 7 equal times, and there will be a remainder of 4. So 5 times 7 gives us 35, plus the remainder 4 gives us 39. So we are on the right path. Again, bring the same base down here. 5 divides this 7, then we have a single time, that will be 1. 5 can divide 7 a single time, and there will be a remainder of what? 2. 5 multiplies 1 gives us 5, plus the remainder 2 gives us 7. So we are on the right path. Bring the 5 again. 5 can't divide 1, so it is 0. And we bring this remainder 1 that is left down here, because 5 couldn't divide the last quotient that we had here. All right, the last whole number after the division that we had here, 5 couldn't divide it, so we write 0. Then we bring that remainder here. Therefore, we are done with the division. So when we take 39, which is in base 10, it will give us, we begin writing the answer to the question from the bottom to the top. That's what we do. So we begin from 1. Now we write out the remainder that is left as the answer. So we have 1 from the bottom, then 2, then 4. And this is in base 5. So to convert 39, which is in base 10, to base 5, you divide the number, which is 39, by the base, which is 5. And then you write out the remainders that will be left as the answer. So we are done for question 5. Let's box on, take a look at question 6. With question 6, this is what we have. Find the least whole number which must be added to 207 to make it divisible by 17. All right, so we have a question on division over here. We need to divide 207 by 17. The remainder that we have, we search for the number that will add to that remainder to give us 17, and that will be the answer. So let's divide 207 by 17. So we write 17 over here, and we write 207 over here. All right. 17 divides 20 a single time. 1 multiplies 17, we have 17. Find the difference. We are subtracting 7 from 0, it's impossible. So we borrow 1 from here, then we have 10. The 10 minus 7 gives us 3. We have a remainder of 1 left here. 1 minus 1 gives us 0. Let's leave it blank. Now 17 can't divide 3. So the best thing we can do is to move the remainder 7 down here. So 17 divides 37, how many equal times? It will be 2 equal times. What will be the remainder? When 17 multiplies 2, you have it to be 34, all right? You have the product to be 34. So when you subtract 34 from 37, there will be a remainder of what? 3. Do we get it? So 2 multiplies 17, we have 34. So 7 minus 4 gives us 3. When you subtract 3 from 3, you have it to be 0. So the remainder is 3. Now, this is the remainder of which 17 cannot divide. So what number must we add up to this particular 3, which is the remainder, to give us 17 that this particular one can divide? What number must be added to the remainder 3 to give us 17 so that this 17 can divide that one? So we need to add 14 to 3. So 14 plus this remainder 3 will give us 17 that this 17 can divide. Therefore, the least whole number which must be added to 217 to make it divisible by 17 is supposed to be 14. All right, it is only when you add 14 to 3 that is when this number or this whole 217 will be divisible by this 17 over here. Have we followed? Fair enough. So we are done with question 6 and the answer is 14. The least number to be added to 217 to make it divisible by 17 is 14. So we are done. This is the answer. The answer is 14. Let's box on, take a look at question 7. All right, so let's write down the question for question 7. All right, so this is what we have. We have 2 multiplied by, into bracket, 3 whole number, 1 out of 3, plus 1 whole number, 1 out of 6. That's what we have. That's what we have right now. So with this, we need to solve the one that is in the bracket first. Both fractions that are found in the bracket are mixed fractions. So we have to change them to improper fractions. So we have 2 outside the bracket multiplied by, changing 3 whole number, 1 out of 3, to an improper fraction. We have 3 multiplying 3, we have 9. 9 plus 1 gives us 10. So we have 10 out of 3 plus 1 multiplies 6. Then we have 6. 6 plus 1 gives us 7. 7 out of 6. So let's find the sum of 10 out of 3 plus 7 out of 6. So with that, we need to find the LCM. All right, so the LCM for 3 and then 6 will be 6. So we write down 6 as the LCM for the denominator 3 and 6. So 3 will divide 6 2 times. The 2 will multiply 10, then we have 20. Plus 6 divides 6, we have 1. 1 multiplies 7, and that gives us 7. So now, this is what we have. We have 2 multiplying 2 plus 7 gives us 27 out of the denominator 6. So with this, because 2 is multiplying everything in this bracket, there is a common factor, all right? There is a common factor that can divide 2 and 6. So the common factor is 2. 2 will divide itself a single time. And then 2 will divide 6 3 times. So 2 divides itself a single time. 2 divides 6 3 times. So we have 1 over here multiplying 27 out of 3. When 1 multiplies 27, we have 27 out of the 3. 1 times 27 is 27 out of 3. All right. So that's what we have. 27 out of 3. That's what we have right now. So with 27 out of 3, 3 can divide 27. So 27 is divisible by 3. And 3 divides 27, 9 equal times. Therefore, the answer to the question is 9. And we are done solving question 7. Let's box on, take a look at question 8. All right, so this is what we have. If 8.51 divided by 2.3 gives us 3.7, then we are supposed to find, the question says, find the value of 85.1 divided by 2.3. So this is the question that we have. This is quite simple. In 1991, we solved a similar example in 1991. There was a similar question. That was 1991, question 3. 1991, question 3. So you can go and see how we solved that particular one too over there, and that will help you understand this one the more. So let's see how best we can solve this particular question. That's question 8. So over here we have 8.51 divided by 2.3, which is equal to 3.7. So the answer is 3.7. And then over here we have 85.1 divided by 2.3. What will be the answer to this particular one? Remember, over here we have 8.51. But when you compare this to this, all right, when you compare this to this, we have the same values over here, just that over here the decimal point is at a different place. We have the decimal point over here. Over here we have 2 decimal places, but in this we have only 1 decimal place after the decimal point. So it is only the decimal point that is going to be moved. The answer is not going to be an absolutely different answer. The answer is going to be very, very similar to this, just that we have to move the decimal point because of the movement of the decimal point from here to here in this particular question. All right, so if they divided this by this, because 2.3 over here is the same 2.3, that one has not changed. But when you come here, we have 8.51, and over here it is 85.1. So they moved the decimal point from here to here once over here. So it means that the answer will be the same as this, but we will only need to move the decimal point in this particular answer to the right a single time, because they moved it over here once for us to obtain the answer to this particular question. All right, so there is no need of dividing this whole thing. It's very simple. So we write down this whole thing again. 85.1 divided by 2.3, and that will give us 3.7 over here. But because over here we had a decimal point between 8 and 5, and it was divided by this, and they had this answer, as they moved it once over here, it means that we will have to get this same answer but move the decimal point the same number of times they moved it over here once. All right, so it will be the same answer as this, and because they moved the decimal point over here once to the right, take this particular answer and move the decimal point to the right. And then you have 37, which will give you 7 points. Now the decimal point comes here. Then you have 0, which is the same as 37. All right, so if 8.51 is divided by 2.3 and the answer is 3.7, then when you have 85.1 divided by 2.3, because this and this are the same and they only move the decimal point once over here, you take the answer for this and move the decimal point once to the right, and that gives you the answer. It's very, very simple and easy to deal with. So we are done for question 8, and the answer is 37. All right, the answer is 37. So let's box on, take a look at question 9. With question 9, this is what we have. Question 9 says, express 0.625 as a fraction in its lowest term. So we are expressing 0.625 as a fraction in its lowest term. So let's take this 0.625 and express it as a fraction. I mean, they mean a simple fraction or a common fraction, because this is a decimal fraction. So let's leave it in the lowest term. For this to happen, we move the decimal point to the right once, twice, thrice in front of the last number. All right, so that one gives us 625. Now the decimal point is here. When you have 1.0, the answer is 1. When you have 2.0, the answer is 2, the whole number part, because the decimal part is just 0. So when you have 625 and now the decimal point is here, you have it to be 0.0. It means the answer is still 625. So there is no need of bringing a decimal point here. All right, so because we move the decimal point once, twice, thrice, we are going to divide this whole thing by 1 and then 3 zeros, which is 1,000. 1,000. If we had only 2 digits here and then you moved it once, twice, we would have divided it by 100 with 2 zeros, right? So because we moved it once, twice, thrice, and then we have 625, that is 625 out of 1,000, it means that we need to divide this by the number of times we moved the decimal point to the right, and we moved it 3 times to the last number. So we have it's divided by 3 zeros, 1 and 3 zeros, which is 1,000. And this is what we have to deal with. So we have 625 out of 1000. Now, this is the answer, but from the look of things, the possible answers that we have here, we don't have 625 out of 1000 in it. So it means we have to leave this in the lowest term, in its lowest term. That's what the question says. It says express this as a fraction in its lowest term. So let's leave this in its lowest term. What common factor can divide 625 and 1000? Let's take 5. Let's take 5. So let me rewrite this same thing over here. 625 out of 1000. So 5 will divide 10 2 times. Then we have these 2 zeros. 5 divides this 0, we have 0. 5 divides this 0, we have 0. So we are done dividing this. Now let's come here. 5 will divide 6 a single time. There will be a remainder of 1. Bring the 1 in front of the 2. You have it to be 12. All right. The 1 is 10. So 10 plus 2 gives us 12. The remainder 1 comes in front of the 2. Then we have it to be 12. So 5 divides 12 2 times. Remainder 2. Bring the 2 in front of the 5. And you have 25. So 5 divides 25 5 times. So now we have 125 up here divided by 200. All right, that's what we have right now. So let's divide these ones to, again, there is a common factor that can still divide 125 and then 200. What is that common factor? That is 5. Again, 5 divides 20 over here. Then we have 4. 5 divides 0. Then we have 0. And then we are done dividing this. Let's go up here. 5 divides 12. Then we have 2. There will be a remainder of 2. 5 2 gives us 10. All right. So when 5 divides 12 2 times, there's a remainder of 2. Bring the 2 in front of this 5. Then you have 25. 5 will in turn divide 25 5 times. Now we have 25 out of 40. That is what we have right now. All right. 25 out of 40. So what common factor can divide 25 and 40? That is 5 again. 5 divides 25, then we have 5. And then 5 divides 40, then we have 8. So 5 divides 25, we have 5. 5 divides 40, then we have 8. So the final answer gives us 5 out of 8. When we take 5 out of 8, there is no common factor, all right, that can divide 5 and then 8 apart from 1. So when it gets to the point where the only common factor that can divide the numerator and then the denominator is 1, then it means it has got to its lowest term. That is its lowest term. So the final answer is 5 out of 8. So we are done solving question 9. Let's box on. Take a look at question 10. Question 10 reads, an amount of money is shared between Kofi and Amma in the ratio 3:5. If Amma received 4,650 cedis, what is Kofi's share? So there's a question that borders on ratio and proportion. So let's see how best we can solve this. So the names are Kofi and Amma. And their parts in the ratio that we have is 3:5. So Kofi's part is 3, Amma's part is 5. That's what we have right now. Kofi's part is 3, Amma's part is 5. And from the question, Amma received 4,650 cedis. So Amma's share . So Amma received 4,650 cedis. The question says, what is Kofi's share? All right, so once we know Kofi's part, which is 3, Amma's part, which is 5. So if Amma's share of the money is 4,650 and Amma's part is 5, then it means that 5 is equivalent to Amma's amount of money. So the 5 Amma's part that we have here, 5, is equivalent to Amma's amount of money received. All right, so it means Amma's part 5 is equal to, which is 4,650. Let's forget about the pesos unit. When we are done, we will add the pesos unit, which is the 0.00. All right. So if Ahmed's part is equal to the amount of money she took, then Kofi's part, which is also 3, is equal to the amount of money he took. And we don't know the amount of money that Kofi took. So let's use, let's say, Y to represent the amount of money that Kofi took. All right. So when this happens, they are in proportion. So now we can cross multiply and find Kofi's share of the money. So 5 will multiply this, and then 3 will multiply this. So going forward, we have 5 multiplying Y, which is equal to 3 multiplying 4,650. That's what we have right now. So if this is what we have, then let's simplify this. 5 multiplies Y, then we have 5Y. That's what we have. But I won't multiply this because when I multiply, the values are going to be huge. And with the pupils or students who are in JHS, they don't use calculators. So multiplying values for them to be huge before you divide becomes a problem. So handle the numbers as small as they are as possible. So I already write this same thing. And then now, I will write this same thing again because we are going to divide. Okay. To find the value of this Y, we need to divide here by the coefficient, which is 5, and go and divide here by the same coefficient 5, so that Y will be standing alone, or we will make Y the subject and find Y. So to find Y, divide here by 5 and go and divide here by the same 5. So 5 divides 5, then you have only one Y, which is Y. Then you have Y standing. And then over here, we have to divide this, okay, 4,650, because 5 can't divide 3 equally. So let's go and divide this. 5 can't divide 4, so we attach 6 to it, then we have 46. So we are dividing these two. 5 divides 46 9 times. Why am I saying this? When you multiply 5 by 9, you get 45, which is closer to 46, all right? So 5 divides itself a single time, divides 46 that we have here 9 times, but there will be a remainder of 1 because we have divided 46. Bring the remainder 1 in front of the 5, then you have 15. So 5 divides 15 3 times, okay, 3 times. Then you have only 0 to divide. 5 divides 0, then you have 0. So we have 930. So we have 3 here multiplied by 930 cedis. That's what we have right now. So we have to multiply 3 by 930. So let's come up here. 930 multiplied by 3. We have to multiply 3 by 930. So let's multiply. 3 multiplies 0, we have 0. 3 multiplies 3, we have 9. 3 multiplies 9, we have 27. 3 and 9 gives us 27. So we have 2,790. And that is the final answer to this question. So Y will be equal to what we have here. 2,790 cedis. And we bring the .00, that is the pesos unit. That's what was given in the question. All right. So the amount of money Kofi will receive, or Kofi's share will be 2,790 cedis. And we are done solving question 10. So we can now box on, take a look at question 11. So with question 11, this is what we have. If $1.00 is equal to 340 cedis, what was the cedi value of an article which cost $6.50 or $6.50? So this is the question. So the question says we should find the cedi value of an article which costs $6.50. So in dollars, we have 6.50 over here. What will be its value in cedis? We don't know. So let's use a variable to represent $6.50 value in cedis. Go in for any variable which is A. All right. If $1 is equal to 340 cedis, what will be the value of $6.50 in cedis? So we use a variable to represent that, and then we cross multiply again, just as we did over here, up here. Just as we did over here, we multiplied this by this and this by that. Over here to multiply this by this and this by that. And then we find the value of A. All right, quite simple. So we will get rid of the 0.00 that we have, which is the cents. In dollars, it is cents. All right, because this is 0.00, we get rid of the zeros. And then over here to 0.00, get rid of the zeros. But over here it is 0.50, so we can't get rid of it. All right, there is a value there, but over here there are zeros, so we are going to get rid of them. So we are going to only multiply 1 by A. That's what we are going to do. So we have 1 multiplying A, which is equal to 6.50 multiplying 340. All right, when 1 multiplies A, people say 1A, and that will give us A. All right, then we multiply 6.50 by 340. So let's do that multiplication over here. Now, to multiply 6.50 or 6.50 by 340, this is what we do. After the decimal point, we have two numbers. So we have two decimal places after the decimal point, all right? So we are going to multiply 6.50 by 340, but we'll get rid of the decimal point and multiply the two numbers as if there were no decimal points over here. Okay, so we are going to multiply it as 340 by 650. But after we have found the product, we will apply the number of decimal places we have here, which is 2. 1, 2. Okay, so let's multiply. 0 multiplies 0, we have 0. We have 0. We have 0. 5 multiplies 0 is 0. 5 multiplies 4 is 20. We write 0. Remainder 2. 5 multiplies 3, we have 15, plus 2 gives us 17. Then we are done for that. 6 multiplies 0 here, we have 0. 6 multiplies 4 is 24, we write 4, remainder 2. 6 multiplies 3, we have 18, plus the 2, we have 20. We find the sum over here. We have 0 here, we have 0 here. When we add, we have 0 here. 7 plus 4 gives us 11. We write 1, remainder 1. The remainder 1 plus this 1 gives us 2. 2 plus 0 gives us 2. Then we have 2 in here. So now we have this, which is 221,000. That's what we have right here. But remember that we had a decimal point over here. We had 2 decimal places over here. So we need to apply the number of decimal places over here so that we can have the final answer. So we stand here, and then we have 2 decimal places. So we move here, we move once, twice. Then we have it to be 2210.00. All right, cedis. So the value in cedis for $6.50 will be 2,210 cedis. And that is it. We are done solving question 11. Let's box on, take a look at how we can solve question 12. So with question 12, this is what we have. Find the simple interest on 28,000 at 3.5% per annum for 6 months. So there's a question that borders on simple interest. So it says we should find the simple interest, calculate for the simple interest. So to calculate for the simple interest, we use a particular formula. And the formula that we use is this. The simple interest will be equal to the principal multiplied by the rate multiplied by the time, all divided by 100. And from the question, we have the principal to be 28,000. And then we have the rate to be 3.5. And we have the time to be 6 months. What we need to note is that when you are calculating for interests with the time, we usually do it annually, that is yearly. Every single year, do we get it? It could be a year, 2 years, 3 years. So when you have 6 months, that is half of 1 year. Do we get it? So it is not 6 years. You don't write 6. But 6 months is equal to or equivalent to half a year. So instead of writing 6, the time now becomes half. Why am I saying half? Because we have 12 months in a year, and if the time is 6 months, it means it is 6 out of 12, the 6 months out of the 12 months that we have in a year. And when you divide this, 6 divides itself a single time, divides 12 2 times, and that gives you half. Therefore, the time gives us half years. Okay, we usually deal with years when we are calculating for simple interests and not months. So you convert it from months to years, and we have a half year. So let's substitute everything that we have over here into the formula and find the simple interest. So we take the principal, which is this, write it down, 28,000, multiplied by the rate is 3.5, multiplied by the time is now half. All these will be divided by 100. All right. So let's rewrite this same 28,000 multiplied by, then change this mixed fraction, change the mixed fraction to an improper fraction. Then you have 3 multiplies 2, you have 6, 6 plus 1 gives us 7, 7 out of 2, multiplied by half, all divided by 100. So we have the interest to be, we have 28,000, we have 100, all right? There are some zeros over here that we can divide. Do we get it? So these 2 zeros will divide themselves. It means we are dividing here by 100 and dividing here by 100. This 0 and this 0 will be gone. This 0 and this 0 will be gone. It means we are dividing here by 100. 100 divides itself a single time and divides 28,000. These 2 zeros will be gone. And then you have 280 over here left. All right. So now this is how it becomes. This is what we have finally. The interest becomes 280 cedis multiplied by 7 out of 2 times 1 out of 2. Remember that all these that we have over here is over 1. And when you write all these as over 1, the answer will give you the numerator. That's what we have to note. So the interest is equal to, now multiply the common fractions. 7 multiplies 1, you have 7. So write 280. Then multiply 7 by 1, then you have 7. 2 by 2, then we have 4. All over 1 gives us this same numerator. So there is no need to bring the over 1 again, because when you divide everything by 1, the answer will give you the numerator. Note this, very, very important. So this is how we calculate for the interest. Now 280 cedis is multiplying 7 out of 4. And with this, the denominator over here can divide 280. So 4 divides itself a single time. And 4 divides 28 7 times. 4 7 gives you 28. So 4 divides 28 7 times. And then 4 divides 0, you have 0. So now we have 70 multiplying 7 out of 1. 7 out of 1 is 7. All right. So the interest now becomes 70 multiplying 7, which will give us 7 multiplies 0, we have 0. 7 multiplies 7, we have 49. And the answer is finally 490. Therefore, calculating for the interest on 28,000 cedis at 3.5% rate for half a year or 6 months gives us 490. Therefore, the interest is 490 cedis. And we are done solving question 12. Let's box on. Take a look at question 13 and 14. So with question 13 and 14, we are using a diagram. All right. We are using the diagram to explain the whole question and then use it to solve it. So I'll take a video of the diagram and then we solve it. All right. So with question 13 and 14, this is what we are using to solve them. So the bar chart shows the distances of 5 villages, that is P, Q, R, S, and T from a market town. Use it to answer questions 13 and 14. So this is the bar chart and we have the villages, which are P, Q, R, S, and T. And then we have their distances, how far the village is from the market. So we have the distances, okay? That is showing how far the village is from the market. So these are the villages, and these are their distances by which they are far from the market. So question 13 says, which village is farthest from the market town? So this is the distance in kilometers. So the one that has the highest distance is the village that is farthest from the market town. With all these bars that we have, it is T that is the longest. All right. So it means that it is only village T that is farthest from the market town. So with question 13, the answer is T. All right. The answer is T. So 13, the answer is T. And question 14 says, so we are done with question 13, and the answer is T because it has the longest bar, tallest bar. We are done with question 13. With question 14, it says, how much farther is village Q than village R? So we have village Q and village R. And the question says, how much farther is village Q than village R? So when you take village Q and then village R, how farther is this village, which is Q, from the market town than village R? How far is village Q from the market than village R? So we subtract the value or the distance of village R from that of the distance of village Q. So the distance of village R will be subtracted from that of Q. So it will be Q minus R. And Q's distance in kilometers is 10. All right. Minus R's distance in kilometers is what? 5 kilometers. Do we get this? And with this, finding the difference gives us 5 kilometers. All right. So with this, it means that village Q is 5 kilometers farther from the market town than village R. Do we get it? So question 14 has also been solved. Let's box on. Take a look at question 15. All right, guys. So with question 15, this is what we have. There are 20 beads in a box. Some are red and some are green. The chance that one bead taken at random from the box is red is 1 out of 4. Find the number of red beads in the box. Total beads that we have in the box, we have it to be 20. So total beads, we have it to be 20. And then probability of choosing a red bead. So the probability of choosing red is 1 out of 4. Find the number of red beads in the box. So if the probability of choosing a red bead is 1 out of 4 and there are 20 beads in the box, then it means that to find the number of red beads, we need to multiply this fraction by the total number of beads in the box. So the number of red beads will be equal to 1 out of 4 multiplied by the 20 beads. So 4 is a factor that can divide 4 and 20. So 4 divides itself a single time and divides 20 5 times. So we have 1 out of 1 over here multiplied by 5. So 1 out of 1 will give us 1 multiplied by 5. And this gives us 5 red beads. So we have 5 red beads in the box. So we are done solving question 15. Let's box on, take a look at question 16. All right, so with question 16, this is what we have. A bag contains 12 mangoes, of which 4 are not ripe. What is the chance of picking at random a ripe mango from the bag? So total number of mangoes in the bag, we have it to be 12. So the total mangoes, we have it to be 12. We have a total number of 12 mangoes in the bag, and then 4 are not ripe. Number of mangoes that are not ripe. Because of the space, I have to shorten what I'm writing. So number of mangoes that are not ripe, we have it to be 4. And the question says, what is the chance of picking at random a ripe mango from the bag? Before we calculate for the probability of picking a ripe mango from the bag, we need to know the number of ripe mangoes in the bag, because over here we know the number of mangoes that are not ripe. So we can calculate for the number of mangoes that are ripe by subtracting the number of mangoes that are not ripe from the total number of mangoes we have in the bag. Number of mangoes that are ripe. So ripe mangoes will give us the total number of mangoes minus number of mangoes that are not ripe, which is 4. And we have it to be, the difference is 8. So it means that 8 mangoes are ripe. So now we can calculate for the probability of picking at random a ripe mango. The probability of picking a ripe mango from the bag will be the number of ripe mangoes out of the total number of mangoes. So the probability of picking a ripe mango will be equal to the number of ripe mangoes. They are 8 in number, out of the total number of mangoes, 12. And this is what we have. We have to leave this in the simplest form. All right. So let's leave this in the simplest form. What number can divide 8 and 12? It is 4. 4 divides 8, we have 2. 4 divides 12, we have 3. So we have it to be 2 out of 3. And we are done solving question 16. The answer is 2 out of 3. Let's box on. Take a look at question 17. With question 17, we have, so we have p squared minus 6p plus 9 when p is equal to what? Negative 2. So this is the expression that we have, and we are told to find the value, all right, of this whole expression. So everywhere we see p in the expression, we write negative 2. So we have p squared over here, which is p is negative what? 2. So negative 2. And then it is squared, so we square it, minus 6 p. P is negative 2 plus 9. Let's solve this whole expression. Negative 2 squared gives us negative 2 times another negative 2, which gives us positive 4. Then negative times negative gives us positive. All right, then 6 multiplies 2, we have 12 plus 9. We add 4 to 12, we have 16. All right, we have 16, then plus 9. And this gives us 25. 16 plus 9 is equal to 25. Therefore, when you have p squared minus 6p plus 9, when p is equal to negative 2, substituting p, which is equal to negative 2, into the whole expression gives us 25 as a final answer. So we are done with question 17. Let's box on, take a look at question 18. All right, with question 18, this is what we have. If s is equal to 2, find the value of q in the equation 3x minus 4 is equal to x plus q. So this is the expression that we've been given. We have 3x minus 4 is equal to x plus q. And then they are saying that the question says if x is equal to 2, find the value of q. So we are substituting the value of 2 into this whole expression. This whole question is similar to this, just that we have an is equal to sign separating this expression and that expression. So everywhere we see x, we put 2 there. All right, so we substitute s is equal to 2 into the whole expression, and then we calculate for q. So we have 3 multiplying x. X is also equal to 2. So 3 is multiplying x, which is 2, minus 4, which is equal to x. X is 2 plus q. That's what we are calculating for. 3 multiplies 2, you have 6 minus 4, which is equal to 2 plus q. 6 minus 4 gives us 2, which is equal to 2 plus q. Over here, we need to find q. So we need to send these 2 here and go and subtract. Because it is positive, we'll go and subtract it from this. So you subtract 2 from here, you have 0. Go and subtract 2 from here too. All right. So it is 2 minus 2, which is 0, and then 2 minus 2. All right. So we have only q standing over here. And then this crosses the is equal to sign, which gives you 2 over here minus this 2. It is positive. When it crosses, it becomes negative. So you have 2 minus 2. And 2 minus 2 gives us 0, which is equal to Q. Therefore, Q is equal to 0. So putting x is equal to 2 into this whole expression and solving it, the final answer is equal to 0. We are done solving question 18. Let's box on. Take a look at question 19. Alright guys, so with question 19, this is what we have. We have this little diagram that we have to use to solve question 19. So let's draw the diagram and then solve the question on inequalities. Alright guys, so with question 19, this is what we have. Which of the following inequalities is shown on the number line above, where P is a real number? So this is the number line that we have, and then we have the shaded dot here, and then the arrow is moving towards the negative values from 2 to the negative, from positive 2 to the negative values. So from here, all right, this is how we go about it. Once the whole circle is shaded, it means it is either less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. It is either this sign or that sign that we are going to use to solve this. Good. So this means that P, all right, is less than 2. So all the numbers pointing to where the arrow is, all these numbers pointing to where the arrow is, they are all less than these 2. So it means that the values of P that are real numbers are less than or equal to positive 2. So all these values here are either equal to or less than 2. So it starts from 2 and then goes on to the negative values. All right, so this means that the values begin from 2 and then move towards the negative values, 2, 1, 0, negative 1, negative 2, in that order. So P is less than or equal to 2. That is the answer to question 19. So we are done solving question 19. Let's box on, take a look at question 20. With question 20, this is what we have. We have a question on mapping. And let's see how best we can solve this. All right, so this is the question that we have, and question 20 says we should find the value of x. All right, so before we'll be able to find the value of this x, we need to find the rule for this particular mapping. Okay, we are using the mapping to answer questions 20 and then 21. So for us to find the value of x that the question 20 is demanding, we need to find the rule for this mapping. Let's check whether this mapping is a linear mapping or an exponential mapping. To do that, let's find the difference between the codomain, values of the codomain, and find the difference between the values of the domain. All right, and let's see whether we'll find a constant difference. So we subtract negative 1 from 1, we have 2. So it will be the constant difference in the codomain. All right, codomain, the difference. 1 minus negative 1 will give us 1 plus 1, which is equal to 2. And then when we even come here, 9 minus 7 gives us 2 as well. Do we get it? So there is a constant difference between the codomain, and then when we take the domain, the difference between the values of the domain, which are the s values, let's see whether we'll have a constant difference. So we'll have negative 1 minus negative 2, and that will give us negative 1 plus 2, which is positive 1. And then when we come here, 4 minus 3 will also give us a constant difference, 1. So this is a linear mapping because there is a constant difference between the values of the codomain and the values of the domain. It means that this is a linear mapping. And for a linear mapping, we use a formula to find the rule for the mapping. So the formula is y is equal to ax plus b. where y and x are the values of the codomain and the values of the domain, respectively. Where a, this a that we see over here, is the constant difference between the codomain divided by the domain. And then we can find the value of b by substituting the values of y and x after finding the constant difference, which is a. So let's find the value of a right now, which is the constant difference. So the value of a will give us the difference between the codomain, the y values, and we found the difference, and the constant difference is 2. All right, so it is 2 out of the constant difference between the domain, this domain, the s values, and we found it, we had 1, so it is 1. Therefore, when we divide 2 by 1, we have 2 divided by 1 gives us 2. Therefore, the constant difference between the codomain and the domain gives us 2. So a over here is 2. To calculate for b, we have to substitute the value of a into this, take y's value, all right, over here, and its corresponding x value. So if we take y as 9, we will take its corresponding x value as 4. And then we substitute the a, which is 2, the y value, and then the x value into the formula, and then we find the value of b, so that we get the rule for the mapping. So I will go in for 5 and then 2, where y, the y value is 5, all right? So y is 5, which is equal to a is now 2. And then when y is 5, x is also what? 2. So when y is 5, s is 2. So a is 2, and then x over here too is 2. Plus b, we are calculating for the b, all right? So this follows that we have 5, then 2 multiplies 2, we have 4 plus b. This follows that we have to subtract 4 from 5. It is positive. When it crosses the is equal to sign over here, it becomes negative. So we have 5 minus 4, which will be equal to b. When you subtract 4 from 5, we have it to be 1. The difference is 1. So therefore, b is equal to 1. So it follows that to rewrite the whole rule, we write it as y, which is equal to a. A is now 2, so we write 2 to replace a. Then x plus b. B is positive 1, so we write 1 for b. So the rule is now y is equal to 2x plus 1. So to check whether the rule is correct, if we are calculating for y and then x is equal to 0, all right, we replace x over here with 0. We substitute 0 in over here. 2 multiplies 0, we have 0, plus 1 gives us 1. So y will be equal to 1, and we have 1 over here. Do we get it? If we are supposed to calculate for y and then x is equal to 3, okay, when 2 multiply x, which is 3, 2 with 3 is 6, plus 1 gives us 7, so y will be equal to 7. So when x is equal to 3, y will give us 7. So the rule over here is correct. Do we get it? So now we can box on and calculate for the value of x from the question. So question 20 says we should calculate for the value of x. So the value of x will be found by substituting the y value, okay? We have the y value over here, so we substitute the y value into this and then solve for x. So when y is equal to 21, it follows that we substitute y, which is equal to 21, into this. So y is 21 now, which is equal to 2x. We are solving for x. Take note of this. Plus 1. So it follows over here that if 21 is equal to 2x plus 1, it means we have to come and subtract. We have to come and subtract 1 from 21. So we have 21. It follows that we have to come and subtract 1 from 21. So we have 21 minus 1, which is equal to 2x. So it follows that over here, 21 minus 1 gives us 20. The difference is 20. 21 minus 1 gives us 20, which is equal to 2x. So to find the value of x, let's rewrite 20 is equal to 2x again. To find the value of x, divide here by the coefficient of x, which is 2. Divide here by 2. 2 divides 2, we have only x standing. Now 2 divides 20, we have 10. So x will be equal to 10. When 2 divides 20, we have 10. So x will be equal to 10. So x is equal to 10. Therefore, from what we have done right now, the value of x is equal to what? 10. So we are done solving question 20. And then question 21 says we should find the value of y. Objective test. We continue with 21 up to 40 on our next episode. Do well to subscribe to the channel to keep more explanations, to keep more questions solved on this particular channel. What we have in store for you is not only past questions. I'm going to take topics in mathematics right from JHS to high school, and then I'll be guiding you step by step as to how to solve them. So I think this is a very good initiative that will help all pupils and students who are struggling with mathematics to make an improvement or overcome their challenge in mathematics. So keep that subscription going on, and meet you on the next episode. I'm out.